This is streaming sports.
What's up, everybody? It's another episode of the Philly Sports Guy Show, and it is a Red October edition of the show as the Phillies went ahead last night and took care of business against the Astros and beat them 3-0 to clinch their spot into the playoffs. It was a beautiful thing. Great game had by all. Aaron Nola pitched a gem, wound up going 6 2/3 innings of a perfect game, bringing that into the seventh inning. He went absolutely crazy. Then he lets up that one hit, gets up a second hit, winds up getting pulled by Rob Thompson. Kyle Schwarber is finding the right time to start getting hot. He has got 4 home runs in the last 3 games. Plus, in the middle of all that, he stole home. That they wound up losing that game, but that don't matter. You know what I mean? It's just he's just finding the right time. He's getting his swing back here. The team was all excited. Obviously, you got to see them. They were celebrating last night. They get to take a couple of days off here as they get themselves ready to go up against either St. Louis or it could be the Mets. Still has an opportunity to be the Braves, although the Braves are 1.5 games up on the Mets right now. The Mets didn't get to play yesterday. It did just so happen that Milwaukee won yesterday, but it don't matter. We don't care. They ain't making it, and we're in the dance. And I tell you, anything can happen now that we're in the dance. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. Like I said, Aaron Nola pitched a gem, 9 strikeouts, 6 2/3. Brought that perfect game into that seventh inning. He didn't get to close it out. He was pitching really well. And I tell you, the hit that he wound up giving up was a good hit. It wasn't like some flimsy how he just snuck on base. That was a good hit. Maybe the only time they were able to get good wood on the ball against him. He was doing just great things. Like I said, they just couldn't even sniff him. They couldn't even sniff him. Kyle Schwarber started the game off right. Again, I think this is the second time in 3 games, the very first pitch of the game goes yard. Bam, gone. 1-0. And you knew at that moment that this was going to be the night. They were not going to let this drag on anymore. They were going to go ahead and clinch that, last night. And they went ahead and did it. Kyle hits another one there in the 8th inning. And that was back to back after Bryson Stott also hit a home run. So, I mean, it was, like I said, 3-0 on 3 homers. It's such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing. Red October is here, baby, and that's what we're talking about. Like I said, it was a tough fight. It was a long season. I was talking to some of the people at the bar, and they're like, "Well, we hope we don't want to, I don't want to see them going too crazy." I'm like, "What are you talking about? This is the first time they've been in the playoffs in 11 years. They should have made it last year. They were at one point in this season 22 and 29 under Joe Girardi, and Rob Thompson takes this team over and brings them to the promised land. He's had a great season. We got two more games left. Obviously, we'll talk real quickly about tonight. How about our closer last night? Our closer, it looked like a familiar face. I like the idea that he's closing. Zach Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin closed out the game last night. Literally, just it was like in what that last batter. That last batter was getting around on the ball a little bit, and he, obviously he got like 7 or 8 pitches, but he got the first two guys out in 2 pitches. It was like strike. Oh, out. Oh, there goes another one out. 2 outs. He had 2 outs and 2 pitches, and then that last guy was just fouling balls off, and it wind up coming in and scoring. And then, like I said, wind up getting that third out where they go and all celebrate out there. It was fun to watch them celebrate. You saw John Middleton there. I told John that we were going to do it. I told him, I says, I can't wait for us to go to St. Louis and take care of business there because I think we got St. Louis's number. And then after we go to St. Louis and take care of business there, we could then go over and try to take care of business at the Dodgers. And I know that our guys love hitting in LA. Love hitting in LA. Dave, hold on. Dave asking this question. What happens if we lost? I guess we'll never know. That's right. Because it don't matter. We won that game. We're in the playoffs, baby. We won't know what happens if we would have lost. As somebody said, I know somebody was on a Grammy show or whatever. I don't watch that stuff. But anyways, it was a fun night to watch baseball. Like I said, it may be pouring outside here, but it is a beautiful sunny day in Phillies land. It was awesome. And I tell you, like tonight we go up against Verlander and it's Ranger Suarez. I don't expect many to play. I think that they're going to sit a couple of these guys here. They want to get the other guys in. I expect Derek Hall to play. It's going to be the first time he's played in probably a month up in the majors. You're going to see a lot of the kids playing today. Probably get Castellanos in there and make sure that he gets some at bats. Probably keep Bryce Harper in the lineup because we want to get him a little hot. Try to get him a little bit more warmed up and going up against better pitching. But I would not be surprised. I don't know that I would sit Schwarber either. I tell you, because that guy is hot right now. Hot, hot, hot. Hot, hot, hot. 4 home runs in 3 games. Like I said, stealing home, doing all the things that he needed to do. He's got 46 on the year so far. Obviously, they're doing some things. Rhys Hoskins also playing some good ball as of right now. The defense isn't 100%. But it's also, like I said, this is going to be a lot of fun as we get ready for the first Red October in 11 years. I am pumped up. It's like I said, I went out last night, probably somewhere around the 4th inning. I had some stuff I had to take care of beforehand. I get out there and I'm like, I'm just because I think they're going to win it tonight. They were up 1-0. I did not even know that point that they were that Aaron Nola was pitching a perfect game. And I just go out there because I was like, I can't miss this celebration. I can't not, I understand that I'm getting ready to go out to Arizona, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm getting ready to go out to Arizona for the Eagles game and making sure that everything's in order here so that I could go for a couple of days. And but I'm like, they ain't clinching without me watching. I want to make sure to see it. So it is a lot of fun. And now the playoffs, the playoff teams are set. The posturing still isn't done yet. The Padres did win last night. They did beat the Giants, and they're their magic number is still 2. They still have to win 2 games, or the Phillies, they could win 1, the Phillies lose 1, and then everything would be set. But right now, we are still 1 game behind the Padres for the second wild card spot, and we hold the tiebreaker. So if we by chance win out and the Padres lose 1 game, we would have the number 2 spot. And that would put us right now, it's up against the Mets. But they, it could be against the Braves. Like I said, the Braves got smoked last night 4-0 against the Marlins, who out of nowhere are playing some pretty good ball. You know what I mean? They took 3 or 4 from Milwaukee and then go into, Atlanta, or Atlanta comes there and they says, yeah, who cares if there's only 7 people here watching this game? We're going to go ahead and beat you. And they beat them 4-0 there. And the Mets get to play because I don't know if you noticed, but it's been raining. And it's that's right up the street from us. But I don't care. I actually, to be honest, I do not want to see the Mets. Patrick here is a little excited. He's like, he wants the Mets. I am not as excited to see the Mets right now. I want to go to St. Louis, then I want to go to LA. The Padres are, yes, Frankie, the Padres are a wild card team. They are definitely in the playoffs, but they do not have the number 2 seed locked up yet. So the Phillies could still take over the number 2 seed, and the Padres would be the number 3 seed, and they would be the ones that would go to St. Louis, where we would go up against the Mets or the Braves. So there's still some posturing left to go here. This season's not done yet. We got 2 more games left to go, but it's playoff baseball in the air. You could smell it. It's like almost like pumpkin spice. The red October is back, baby, and I'm excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun going forward here. We're going to be doing it. Like I said, obviously, these games are going to happen. They have Thursday off, so it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's possible. It's possible if everybody holds serve here. It is very possible that on Sunday, Philadelphia teams will be knocking out 2 Cardinals in one day. Arizona Cardinals going down to the Eagles, and the Philadelphia Phillies moving on in the playoffs, giving a little bit of payback from 2011, where I think that the Cardinals were the team that actually took us out of the playoffs. That was a day where I think we lost, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty good with my memory here, it was a 1-0 game where they scored a run in the first inning, and then it was a pitcher's duel between Holiday and, I want to say, it wasn't Wainwright, but I don't know. It was just a pitcher's duel, and they both went complete games, and it wound up being a 1-0 game. So, yes, they do not have the times for the games yet. I expect, that, and the reason why they don't have the times for these games is because San Diego and St. Louis is not going to be a very big game to watch. So they're going to have that in early in the day, because if we want to play in the Mets, that's going to be all prime time games. And obviously, if we wind up playing St. Louis, we'd probably wind up having the earlier of the games, because they're going to want to show the Mets. If the Braves happen to be in the wild card, whoever the Braves are going to play against is going to wind up being the early game, because nobody cares about baseball in Atlanta. They're still having a hard time getting people into that stadium. Unless the soccer team is playing down there, nobody goes to any games in Atlanta. They just aren't really big sports fans. So I think there was more Atlanta fans in Philadelphia who went to the games than who actually go to the games down there. But that doesn't matter. Who cares about what happens in Atlanta? Who cares about what happens in New York? It's Philly playoff baseball, and I'm real excited about that. Let's go and take a quick commercial break right now, because we got a little bit more to talk about. I want to talk about a little bit more on how the Phillies are going to go, what their projected lineup is going to be going into the playoffs, and who they're going to, like I said, how they're going to set up their rotation for this 3-game series. So let's go and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back right after these messages. right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, guess any.
And we are back tonight. Starting at 8 o'clock, you can come to Dolan's Bar in downtown Ridley Park for PSG Quizzo. That's right. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about the Phillies. We're going to give you some Phillies trivia, some Eagles trivia, and a lot of other fun. You win Dolan's Bucks. We have auction items to be able to give away. It's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely come to Dolan's Bar in Ridley Park starting at 8 o'clock, PSG Quizzo. Also, want to talk to you about very quickly the PSG Charity Mini Golf Open that's going to be in Arizona. If you're going to be in Arizona on Friday, come on out and play some mini golf with us. The Glow Putt Mini Golf Course is on Shea Boulevard in Scottsdale, Arizona. Cost is $40. It buys you a round of golf and a free drink over at the 92nd Street Cafe, which is literally in the same shopping center over there. Everyone in attendance is going to be entered to win an autographed football by Sexy Batman. Yes, you saw the picture of the Sexy Batman with the big bulge. That's what we're talking about. He signed a football. You get a chance to get that football by coming and just attending this event. It's going to be a lot of fun out there in Arizona. Real quick, before we get, actually, I'm going to keep going with the Phillies before we go, whatever. I think that, it was a lot of fun. We're watching the celebration, and John Middleton made it into the room. And, first Rob Thompson's in there, and Rob Thompson's a little old school, does his speech. Everybody's sitting there waiting for to pop the champagne. And he's saying, hey, listen, obviously he said this a lot different, but we ain't here for the icing. We want the whole cake. It's time to get to work. We got 13 wins to make this all happen, and we got to do whatever we can to make it happen. So 13 wins is the magic number here moving forward here. We got 2 more regular season games, which now don't count. Who cares? We got 13 games to win after that, and that's where we would wind up being, World Series champions. Who knows? Who knows? We could be back down in Houston. Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, if everybody was watching the game, you got to see Mrs. Maton with a jersey with both the Phillies and the Astros on there because both of her sons are playing on playoff teams. So it was fun to see that. Obviously, it's hard when you're trying to choose between one or the other, but it's a lot of fun to watch that. So here's who I got here for the 3-game series. This 3-game series that we have against either St. Louis or the Mets. Game 1, I fully expect. Obviously, Nola pitched last night, so I don't think he's going to start the series against. Like I said, this is going to be on Friday. So the fact that he's pitching today, I think that they're going to start with Wheeler. Wheeler would be the number 1. Nola would be the number 2. And if they do make it to game number 3, I think they will start Noah Syndergaard there. Obviously, if it's against the Mets, they probably will not, because I think that he got some type of mental block against the Mets right now. So he doesn't want to pitch against them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to go with Ranger there, because Rangers actually had some good numbers against the Mets. However, he's only good in like the 5th or the 6th inning. They're going to have a quick hook with them. And then, like I said, Zach Eflin is going to be in the bullpen, I think, for moving forward here. Obviously, he pitched really well to closing out that game yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if he does long relief in the bullpen with Noah Syndergaard there. So they may try to limit him in game 1 and game 2 to try to be able to pitch in game 3 for a little bit longer of a time if they need to. But obviously, it's just exciting to be there right now. Like I said, they took care of business. They beat the Astros in Houston. This game, do you think about this? This game was supposed to happen in the very beginning of the season. And now they went down there against the second best team in baseball in their stadium and beat them 3-0 against a guy pitcher who had a 2.48 ERA. It's not Justin Verlander, but it is, he was a good pitcher. So, yes, Gibson's going to be in the bullpen. He will not start another game. I don't think it's just. I think that they are going to wind up probably going once they get into the bigger series. If they make it through past this wild card series, I expect that they're going to go to a 4-man rotation. So I would not be surprised if it's only Wheeler, Nola, Ranger Suarez, and Noah Syndergaard that pitch, that are starting pitchers moving forward in the playoffs. So we'll see. Obviously, we've got more to worry about. Let's get through these 2 games. Let's get these guys all regular and heated up. Get all the bench guys get a little bit of playing time in there so they can get some swings at the against really good pitching, because obviously they're going up against Verlander, and Verlander still best in the business, especially when it comes around this time of year. He knows how to pitch in October. So I expect Verlander to be having good stuff moving forward here, and this is going to be the last time he pitches in the regular season. They obviously have those couple days off where they're going to be able to rest him. I expect that he will start the divisional series for the Astros whenever that occurs for them. Probably be next Tuesday. So he's going to pitch today, and then he's going to have a full week off of rest before he goes. Other things that happened yesterday in Philadelphia sports. We got to see an old friend yesterday. An old friend. Yes, it was. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull this game up here because I want to pull his whole stat line up. Ben Simmons was playing some basketball for the first time since the playoffs. I mean, this is since the playoffs of 2 years ago. Ben Simmons back on the court for the first time as a Brooklyn Net. And there were some Philly fans up there watching that game. You heard the boos every time he went to the foul line. And I tell you, it was a lot more of the same. When you saw him, here was his line. I'm just going to go right into the line here. He played for 19 minutes. He scored 6 points. He had 1 rebound. No, that's not true he had 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. No fouls, turned the ball over twice. He had 1 offensive rebound, 3 defensive rebounds. He went 3 for 6. That was all from the field. And then, of course, he went to the foul line 1 time, and he was garbage, straight garbage. He got there and he blew both of those foul shots. I can't wait till he comes and plays in Philadelphia, for those games, because we're going to be having a lot of Frosties. Expect to get they're going to have to do special things for him for when he's in town, because the Frosty freeze out is going to wind up having to give away gallons of Frosties for when he goes up and tries to shoot foul shots, because he still stinks out loud at throwing free throws. Didn't take my advice. I was sitting there and I showed him I'm on the court dribbling up, boom, right in. That's what you do. If you're from Philly, he couldn't take that advice. He was just doing bad, man. So, anyways, like I said, and the Sixers wind up taking this game 127 to 108. The Sixers looked good. They were ahead by a lot in this game, 42 to 26 at the end of the first quarter, and then just really took over the rest. The stats for the Sixers, they were led by Maxey, who only played 13 minutes and scored 20 points. Yeah, they had Champagny and Korkmaz both had 15, and Big Ball Paul had 10. They got a lot of people playing. Guys that did not play. Harden and Embiid did not really come out there, didn't really get started. They're doing all their thing. So, anyways, like I said, yesterday was a lot of fun to kind of watch all of that. Obviously, like I said, seeing Ben Simmons on the court, doesn't matter. Obviously, he's not in Philly anymore, so I don't really care about it. I don't need to waste any of my breath or my time. I will do the appropriate booing when he gets into town. I'm going to call him Mr. Softy when he gets into town. But ultimately, he doesn't rent any space in my head because I could care less about what Ben Simmons does. And if this game is just indicative of what this season's going to entail, they're going to see very clearly on why we needed to get rid of him up in Brooklyn. So I tell you, it was a lot of fun. Again, like I said, the Phillies, Red October. It's going to be a lot of fun here as we get ready. We're going to have a watch party. I'm sure we were going to have a watch party in Arizona. Expect to see it on Saturday night. Obviously, on Friday, we're going to be doing the PSG Open, and then we have a meet and greet with Seth Joyner and Hollis Thomas that out there in Scottsdale, Arizona, and then we're going to be watching some playoff baseball. Hopefully it'll be right in the same spot. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. It's a Red October, and the Eagles are 4-0. This is turning out to be a beautiful October. And not only that, one team I haven't even mentioned yet is the Union also getting ready for the playoffs. They have one regular season game left, and it's ultimately they're going to wind up probably with the second best record in the league. And as long as they don't give up 2 goals, they are going to have had the most amount of goals, the least amount of goals ever scored on them ever, and the most amount of goals ever scored in Major League Soccer. So they are breaking records all over the place, just getting themselves ready for the first MLS Cup. It's time to bring that hardware home and put that in the trophy case. So it's going to be a very, very exciting October. It all starts this Friday, where we're not sure if we're going to be in New York or if we're going to be in St. Louis. But either way, paint this town red, baby, because Red October is here, and the Phillies are going to be playing some ball. And I tell you, with the way the Mets are playing right now, I mean, like I said, I still feel like that they might be a little bit in our heads, but going to play a 3-game series up there right now doesn't look as scary as it did earlier in the season. And then, like I said, I think that we match up really well against St. Louis. I think St. Louis is built the exact same way that we are. So I fully expect that it's going to be a good series with them. It'll be a good series either with the Mets or with Atlanta. I don't care. Paint this town red, because Red October is here, baby. So everybody, thank you very much for hanging with me here today. I will not be here tomorrow as I have to take care of some family business. I will try to get back out here on Thursday if I can. But if I can't, you will definitely see me in Arizona. Definitely stay tuned to all of my stuff. You'll see me. I'll be posting all over the place. It's going to be a lot of fun. So everybody, have a great day. Try to stay dry. And as always, let's go Philly. Yeah. Have a great